Rebels have activated the uplink.
Hello, this is Paul from Play Magazine.
And this is Luke.
And these are the top 5 games still to come in 2015. Just before we start, just to make clear, we've only gone for stuff that's got a definitive release date or release window.
I was born in a small village.
Right, so the first game we're looking at is Metal Gear Solid 5, which I think we're both very excited about now.
Would that be the Phantom Pain?
The Phantom Pain, yes.
Yes, I do like the Phantom Pain.
Yeah, it's looking pretty incredible so far, isn't it?
And so close as well now.
Yeah, I know, I can't believe it.
It's just around the corner, and you think about like when we move on to the next issue of the magazine we're making, that the review will be in there. Like it's finished, it's out there.
Yeah.
People are playing it. We've played it. We know it's good. We know it's massive. Afghanistan is a big place. Revolver was right.
Yeah. I really like it always worries me now when like every game goes like open world, because it's like not everything has to be open world.
No.
But for this game, it looks right. It looked like the way they've done it looks really cool.
Yeah, well, we knew from Ground Zeroes that it wasn't just kind of following trend. It was an actual kind of gameplay use of an open world, which is great to see.
Yeah. And that's the thing, obviously, because everyone's got to play Ground Zeroes. You've almost seen
Everyone's
like
got to play it. Is it the law now?
As in, everyone's had an opportunity to play Ground Zeroes.
Not that it's mandatory, just to confirm.
I mean, it is mandatory, but also they've had the option to play it, and that's almost sort of the prototype for it in terms of, obviously you didn't have a huge overworld, but a lot of the systems are already there, and you can see that it plays well.
Yeah, in terms of open plan stealth, it was very much a proof of concept for Phantom Pain, wasn't it? So if you imagine Ground Zeroes, but with the ability to attach balloons to sheep and steal them, and a kind of Dark Souls invasion mechanic, and companions and tanks and mechs and...
Yeah, the companion stuff looks awesome.
It does. I'm worried it's going to be a bit handholdy. Like I lost interest in Assassin's Creed when they brought in the Brotherhood stuff of like you can just point and click to send assassins off to do stuff for you. Yeah,
that's a fair point. And you've seen that with Quiet.
We've seen it with Quiet. You
basically tell her like take this person out, and she's not going to miss, is she? So
no, she's meant to be quite good.
But there's some kind of creative stuff as well. Like you've seen like you can throw grenades and get Quiet to shoot them to send them in certain directions. So we've seen places where you were blocked maybe by something, and you can use that ability.
I'm not entirely sure that's how grenades work.
No, I'm not either. But in Metal Gear Solid, then we've also seen Snake sliding down hills in a cardboard box, and I'm not sure how spying
and a well-trained military soldier saluting a cardboard box, assuming it's his superior.
Yeah, so I think we can.
I don't think logic lives here anymore, does it?
Yeah, they're really excited to play it. Really excited about all the stuff they're doing in that game, and as you say, only have to wait until the 1st of September to play it.
Whoop, whoop.
Next game we're looking at is Star Wars Battlefront, which was probably going to be one of the biggest games this year, if not the biggest, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Like, the end of this year is going to go absolutely Star Wars nuts, isn't it? You got the new movie coming out, then all of a sudden a new game from DICE as well, from the Battlefront series, which, it came from back in the PS2 and Xbox original days. Had a huge following at the time, great online. One of the first kind of great online console games on like modern consoles, I think. And a lot of the stuff people loved about it then is coming back now. And oddly, we've moved into kind of the Call of Duty era where everyone's just doing experience leveling up, following men, the same kind of stock format for online multiplayer. Kind of the Battlefront way of doing things has kind of dropped by the wayside a little bit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I mean, even the simple things like iron sights. I mean, this has got sighted guns with sniper rifles and stuff, but a lot of it's just like point and shoot, like old school. Yeah, it doesn't look to be based so much on the upgrades, unlocks system. So that's a cool thing. It's just amazing in terms of like DICE is one of the best in terms of sound design and stuff, and with all of those like Star Wars,
they've got so much iconic sound work to work with there, haven't they? You've got the TIE fighters screeching by, the pew pew blasters, and if you get to be one or see one, you get the Jedi and Sith throwing their lightsabers as well, which is, you're not going to forget that. You're in trouble when you just hear that vroom from around the corner. Like, oh man, really?
Yeah, I mean, if I guess that would be the same as the old Battlefront games where it's based on performing well in a match, basically hitting a certain point.
I think so. Yeah, I think it'll be a reward as opposed to kind of an unlockable thing. Maybe it'll be a in-app purchases thing. Pay 69p to play as Darth Vader for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that would go well.
That would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
$4.99 to take control of a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, maybe they'll do it as like some kind of time thing, like almost do it as Titanfall did it, where you have to wait a long time to get it, but if you perform well you can knock the time down, something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
That would be cool.
Or just completely random, like the tank in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty huge game, and hopefully it will be, as you say, live up to the multiplayer that the old games had. I don't really care that much for the co-op and stuff that's in it. It's all about multiplayer for me.
Yeah, it's online for sure.
Yeah, so it's definitely looking good in terms of style and everything, and hopefully it will play well. When it comes out, I believe 20th of November.
Yeah, sounds about right. The next game we've picked is PES 2016, the long-awaited sequel to PES 2015. I'm curious as to why this has been picked over FIFA, so I'm going to hand you over to Paul to explain that, because I think he might have something to say about it.
It's because PES is better than FIFA. It's much debated in the office, but fortunately none of the people who are wrong are here.
No,
so,
they don't get to talk over this video because they're still sat doing work, the idiots.
Yeah, so I can just say PES is definitely better. There's no argument to be made. Yeah, I mean obviously PES was rubbish for ages.
It slipped, didn't it? Like it had a few years when like FIFA 10 around there when FIFA came back in pretty strong form. At the same time, Konami had really let it slip, so there was a good 2-3 year period there.
Yeah, but it's really picked up from, I would say, sort of 12, sort of 12, 13, starting to improve.
Yeah, those, as an old school PES fan, those were some of the most frustrating games I've ever played, because you could see an element of the old PES magic in there, but they still didn't quite feel right. No,
but they've been getting closer ever since, and I think last year I thought that was a really good game. Like I say, I have played FIFA as well, and don't get me wrong, FIFA is still good, but to me PES is still the best when it's at the top of its game, because it's got a variety in the way the games play out and the kind of goals that you get, whereas to me FIFA always seems, it's always like fast-paced counter-attacking, like that's what it's built around, whereas PES just to me has more of a variety in it. And yeah, the fact that they've got back to their best, they've made a game on new hardware, so they know the PlayStation 4, they're still using the Fox engine, they've made that transition, so there's nothing there to trip them up, so I'm really hopeful that it's going to be even better this year.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I say, I used to play a lot back in the day, and the idea of going back to 100% pure PES, that's good. That's good. Well done, Konami.
So you get to play that on 15th of November.
And this one right here is Fallout 4. You may have already noticed that because you probably already got it on pre-order, and it's probably almost anticipated game of the year, because it does seem to be for a hell of a lot of people. I know you're after PES, but Fallout as well?
Yeah, definitely. Fallout, I mean, I always like games where you can achieve objectives in different ways. Like, I've always loved that. Whenever there's a game where you can talk yourself out of trouble, I always like doing that. I'm always upgrading that stuff so I can charm my way to victory.
Yeah, I did enjoy that in The Witcher, actually. That was great fun.
Yeah, exactly. So I always love that. So yeah, these type of games where you can build a character in a meaningful way, if you know what I mean, so that it actually changes how the game plays. Yeah. And that's what Fallout 4 obviously does really well. I think they're really good in terms of the construction of their worlds as well. I mean, the game... we've talked before about how the character models and stuff don't look that great, but the world itself,
it's an emphasis on scale, isn't it? That's what they've gone for here, like scale and a general kind of atmosphere over polygon counting, which for a game like this, that's the right play, let's be honest. Yeah.
What do you think of obviously this one, we've got now the ability to build settlements and craft items and stuff. I mean, do you think that's a positive addition?
Potentially, like the building stuff on a basic level when it kind of doesn't really mean anything, like in the Skyrim DLC. It's kind of, it's neat, you know, fans can do what they want with it. No one else is forced to do it, so it's kind of cool. It could be good fun. Personally, I'm more concerned about whether Bethesda's got a handle on PlayStation platforms yet. Like last generation, all of their games on PS3 were either released or ended up pretty shocking.
Yeah, that's true. I think, New Vegas in particular was notorious for problems on PlayStation 3. I wouldn't imagine it would be, because obviously the PlayStation 3 was notoriously tricky to develop for, which so far PlayStation 4, those kind of problems seem to have been absent. Developers seem to be okay with it. So I would be fairly confident that we should be okay. Fingers crossed. But yeah, reasonable concern. But if they don't have any of those problems, then it looks like it's going to be amazing. And Bethesda, like, they made Fallout 3, they made Skyrim, they made good games.
They know what they're doing. Yeah, they're all right at this game development lark.
Yeah, so that one will be coming out on November 10th.
Lovely.
Okay, our last game that we've got on here, not really a surprise to me that you picked this, because I know you love rhythm action. I have to ask though, why did you go for Rock Band 4 over Guitar Hero Live?
The way I play these days, Rock Band is kind of more my go-to game. I started out with Guitar Hero, sure, but since Rock Band, since that co-op experience for 4 people all rocking out on Expert together, I don't really go back to kind of the old school rhythm action experience. And if I do, I'd probably want something a bit further removed from kind of the Rock Band experience, if you get what I mean, like a more traditional button-based game or something like Hatsune Miku or whatever, you know. The peripheral-based game to me is all about the experience, and I know Guitar Hero is delivering a different kind of experience with its first-person kind of simulated gig type thing going on. Which I've played it; it's really cool. The game is good, the new instrument's good, but Rock Band coming back to me personally is a big deal, especially given I have probably about 500-600 songs on my hard drive already.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And this is another one as well, like we've just said, like Bethesda know what they're doing. This is Harmonix.
It's Harmonix who've never put a foot wrong, to my knowledge.
Yeah, so should be good. So these are our most anticipated games still coming in 2015. We're going to be doing a 2016 video that'll be going up soon, so come back and check that out.